The weekly code quiz. What was the first commercial browser to support CSS after this point? The first commercial browser to support CSS was Microsoft's Internet Explorer 3, 1996. Then Netscape Navigator 4 adopted style sheets. Opera 3.5 by Geir Everoy followed in 1998. Opera boasted it could fit on a floppy.
What was unique to Opera?
Håkon was impressed and joined the Norwegian company as CTO. Opera's browser was used primarily on mobile phones, and this freed the web from the desktop. Presented by...
Why is Mozilla Firefox an open source platform?
It was increasing competition that led to Netscape to respond by releasing its source code for its browser. So this is why Mozilla Firefox today is an open source browser. This allowed anyone to make improvements on its browser, including the implementation of CSS to specification. Apple released Safari in 2003 when Microsoft stopped support for Mac by Internet Explorer.
What is Cross Browser Compatibility?
Cross Browser Compatibility means that web designers have to spend time to make sure their design displays comparably on all the different devices and browsers out there. This need is a result of this early competition between companies, their browsers, and implementation of web standards.
When did web fonts begin to be supported?
Support for web fonts began with CSS2 with the ability to embed fonts by providing the font with a style sheet. It was only supported by IE in its initial release. At the time, only a few fonts had a copyright that allowed distribution on the web. Microsoft and MONOTYPE developed a font format called EOT, Embedded OpenType, which contained the URL inside the font. This limited the use of the font with that document. It was a proprietary Microsoft format.
Why are there so many web font formats? TTF, OTF, EOT, WOFF, etc.
By 2008, more designers were allowing their fonts to be released for free on the web, and Håkon lobbied that browsers support them, TrueType and OpenType fonts. Bert also convinced Microsoft to open up EOT, and it was eventually released under a royalty-free license. But there was pushback to implement EOT because it used a different compression algorithm than the one more widely used. This pressured the W3C to release another format called WOFF. So if you're wondering why you have to load so many types of font files when embedding a font, this is why. TTF, OTF, EOT, WOFF.
What is a more popular method to support the many fonts of today?
What is more popular now is the use of web-based font services such as Adobe Typekit, FontSquirrel, Google Fonts, and many foundries are doing the same. Presented by Designers Learn Code.